Newbold offers a graduate diploma. This graduate diploma is intended for a very specific audience, and we're delighted to have quite a number of students in this program. The graduate diploma takes students that have a BA in any discipline and prepares you for studies at the master's level in theology. And so we have quite a number of students that have background in GUI interfacing and computer coding. We have students that have backgrounds in the humanities or in business. We have some students that have financial backgrounds. If you have either sensed that God is calling you, or you've actually intentionally said, I want to pursue a secondary degree in a different field, but come back to theology, this is the place that you would want to be.
As a young child, I've always wanted to kind of be on mission, to travel the world. Part of the reason why I did my nursing degree. And so then when I heard that this opportunity was available, I decided to take it on. After doing the one-year mission program, so I did the one-year mission program, was here on campus, loved the experience. While I was at Newbold on campus, I was encouraged really about with the people who were here who were also interested in ministry and going into ministry, and I found other ladies who are also studying theology, and I thought, wow, there's actually an opportunity for a woman to serve within the ministry. And this is when I decided to start praying about it, had a lot of conversations with people. That really kind of helped me to decide that to go into ministry is something that I would like to do full time. So that kind of built my desire to decide to study theology and to go forward and do the GradDip program.
It's there for two groups of people. There is a very specific focus for individuals that want to pursue a master's, our master's in theology. Our master's in theology is the final component to becoming a pastor and being able to be serving in the denominational structure of the Adventist Church as a licensed and credentialed minister. Some students don't have the theological background yet, though, to engage with a master's, and that's where the graduate diploma comes in. And in 1 year, precisely 1 year, we prepare you for that. And that means catching up on some of the biblical languages that a BA in theology would have given you. It gives you the basic foundational understanding of our systematic theology as well as our practical theology, so that as you engage with the masters, you are prepared to do so and you're competent at that. We recognize that these students have already done quite a bit of work, and they're very competent already and have been successful sometimes in a previous career. And so this is a fast track to the MA program.
But essentially I was working in social media marketing for a while, but even though I really enjoyed it, there was just like something missing when I was doing it. Like I was enjoying it, but it just wasn't giving me the oomph that I needed. Yeah, so it's hard transitioning from having that worker kind of mindset to go back into being a student. So I had forgotten all about how to write papers, how to sit down in a classroom, But it was a good learning experience, just hearing lecturers speak again about things that I enjoyed, and then getting to learn different things as well, especially when it came to like biblical languages like Greek. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a bit difficult, I'm not going to lie, but I definitely enjoyed it. In the beginning, I thought to study theology at Newbold, you had to become a pastor, and that's not something I personally want to do. But then I recognized you can do so much with a theology degree. You can become a Bible worker, you can go into missionary work, you can be a teacher as well. There are so many different avenues and different routes that you can go down.
I think there's a second group of individuals that also enjoy the graduate diploma, and that is individuals that might say, I don't necessarily want to go to a master's degree, but I want to gain more information about Scripture, about Bible. I want to study more. And these students are very often lay members that are interested in theological discussions or want to have that understanding of how do I wrestle with this? How can I have a foundational background so that in my personal faith journey, I can be better equipped at doing so. Some of them are lay members or church members that are very engaged in church and want to have more skills how to interact. And so that is a wonderful degree, even just as a standalone degree. So it can fulfill two possibilities, lead you to the master's degree, or it can be a standalone degree. We want to give the students a wide range of experiences. Some of that is in the classroom and will deal with catching the student up to Greek language and to biblical studies, but there's also this wrestling with systematic questions, Christian ethics, for example. But there's also this component of being prepared to work in the practical field. In my experience, I've found that students come with the best questions in any field and any part of the discipline if they've had good exposure to the questions that the world asks of us. As you engage with people on the street and they ask questions about, is God fair? And if we can understand those questions, it gives us a hunger and a thirst to understand from Scripture. What does the Bible say about this? That becomes an important question that we then discuss also in our systematic theology. So these disciplines, even though we sometimes categorize them as separate entities, as biblical studies, systematic, and pastoral studies, these all interact with each other. The more we are engaged with the world, the better we do the other jobs of thinking through Scripture and thinking through theology.
With the New Testament pathway, I'm learning Greek, and then I'm also doing epistles module as well. So looking at the New Testament, and with the Greek, it's really great because you're really being able to see, how the Bible reads in its original language. And yeah, so we also have our pastoral ministry module, which looks more on the I guess the foundational and basics of pastoral ministry, and really helps you to build that knowledge that you need and prepare you for the future within the pastoral role. This kind of some of the modules that I'm taking, and the lectures are really helpful. You can tell that they're really passionate about what they're teaching. Another module with Dr. Jan Barna, he's very passionate with telling us about the history behind the Adventist Church, and that's one of the modules that I'm taking. And the passion that the lecturers have really help to build your own interest and desire within the subjects.
They have placements, so each student is not just placed into a church, but they are paired up with the pastor as their supervisor. And the pastor is asked to mentor and to coach and to model good ministry practices. So again, that's part of the learning process, taking it out of the classroom and into the field so that they can see that application process happening in real time. The students are encouraged to attend the placement churches at least 3 times a month during their semester time, and they are also encouraged to take part in as much as they can do without it impacting their studies. So they can get involved in kids clubs and evangelistic campaigns, feeding programs, whatever it is that's going to give them experience to be able to take forwards when they graduate.
I did a placement for the pastoral ministry module, which was really good. I was able to experience leadership within the church. I was able to do pastoral visits, get involved in different ministries within the church as well. I was really challenged as well when it comes to like sermons and Sabbath school and Bible studies and stuff like that. But it was a really, really great experience because it allowed me to see things in a more holistic way instead of like a narrow kind of way. And it also allowed me to see things in different people's perspectives as well, which is good. I would say just walk in faith. You don't know where God's going to lead you. I mean, I have my own, my own preferences, but if God is calling me down the pastoring route, I can't say no to that call. All I have to do is just walk in faith, not to try and plan my life meticulously, but just to hear his voice, and wherever he leads me, just have the obedience and the humility to follow.